Teaching Jieh Dao, one element at a time.
Thank you for watching our webcast phase 1. This is phase 1 I-5b class session. In this session, we're going to basically cover the stick, our weapon, our default weapon, our 29-inch, 30-inch stick. I covered the warm-up in previous session. Basically, just make sure your wrist is warmed up. We're not going to go hard. We're not hitting heavy bag, but do train your wrist, particularly because of the first segment that I'm going to go over. This is what we call our twirling. The actual, it is one of its root, if you want to call it where the root come from, it's a style, it's a Filipino style of twirling. It comes from a different tribes. You take a long back, but obviously in Jieh Dao is heavily modified. I've amplified it in many different ways, curved it, cut it, and kind of made it very codified to sort of fit into our curriculum, including terminology and concepts. So when you're having two stick in your hand or even single stick, a few quick pointers, always have a tail. You don't want to go all the way down. You don't want to go in the middle. That's a different type of training we do with the center hold, but which we're not going to cover in phase 1. Nor you're going to go earth. This is what we call heaven hold or high hold. Okay, that's heaven where the Lord is. This is earth hold where below where we're standing, or low. So we either go high or we go low, heaven or earth. So most of the time, phase 1, by default, pretty much it's heaven hold, high hold. Tail, how long is the tail? Depends on your stick. Depends how thick your stick is. You don't want to go too thick. You don't want to go bigger than 1 inch. I'll say less than 1 inch, 7/8, whatever, you know. So if even thinner than that, that's fine in the beginning. The length of the tail should really be the span of the width of your palm. Okay, so if you have a palm covering the tail, that should by default should be where your grip should be. You notice I put a yellow here. This is what I'm teaching. I want to show where basically the grip should be. That's the reason for these yellow stripes. Also, it's you could see the tail as it moves, so at different purpose. So, but that doesn't mean that I cannot hold it higher or lower. It depends on basically the drill, the element application. When we're twirling, okay, synchronize both of your hands. That's a double stick synchronized twirling. You want to start that way. Standing square. You don't want to put a lead on. You don't need to, because we're not worried about waist below. Both hands move together. So both sides of training both sides of the brain at the same time. So both hands are grip at the same time. I've already warmed up, so I don't need to really go through the warm up. We get right into the actual twirling. So you notice this. By the way, I play music. It's good that you have a steady beat music. We're going to do some audio training later on, but at the same time, I want you to keep in mind, keep both sticks together. You don't want to go do this. If you cannot twirl at the same time, do one, then slowly look at them at the same time. Good to have a mirror. So you look at yourself, how they both are moving. Look at yourself, how they both moving. You see that? And allows you to synchronize and get your coordination. It's all coordination. It's an eye-hand coordination, which is of course brain, your central command line of the body, right? So forward twirling, initially when you're cold or beginner, you will not have a full closed circle close to your body. I suggest in the beginning, just don't worry about all the fingers. I call, by the way, the way we hold the stick is you've got a hand grip, okay, and then you have the 3 fingers, that what I call the flex part of your grip. But this is not flex. This have to be tight. Okay, if this moves, obviously it will move back and forth, up and down, but you don't want the mouth of the hand, that's what I call the mouth of the hand, to be too loose, because during the hitting, while we're hitting inanimate object or with a partner training, if you're holding it too loose, it'll bounce either bounce to your face or you lose it. You know, you basically get disarmed. You don't want to do that. Have a flexible, you know, it ultimately should look just like this. I don't want to get too close to the screen, but if you look at my fingers, it basically moves just like that. You see that? I can get in and you don't have to worry about my lower waist. Look at my hand, how the hand moves, okay? I get a little bit closer. You see the hand here? I've gripped it nice and tight, but I have flexibility in my last 3 bottom fingers, which will allow the stick to get close to my shoulder. I want to get as close to it as possible. That's the ultimate twirling mechanism or skill that you want to have. Initially, when we have phase 1 student, never touched the stick before, or you know, they play with it but never really train, I said, don't worry about these last 3 fingers. Just, you know, do this fancy ding ding ding, you know, that's the way it looks good. But it's okay because it allows your brain to feel your hand move, allows your hand to get used to this stick dancing inside of your palm, moving inside of your palm with this grip nice and tight. Eventually, get your 3 fingers on it, continuity all the time, and then double at the same time, double stick together, move. Look at yourself on a side. Do they go together, or is one off, is, you know, the other one, or this is off and, you know, the left is off and right is fast, one is fast. Even though if they're going nice and smooth, maybe one is not following the other. You want to basically ultimately have both of your hand, both of your stick mimic each other exactly like a mirror. You stand in front of a mirror. If you're doing this hand, my hand in the mirror, look, it's 100% synchronized. So you want to have this mirroring this at the same time. That's forward twirl. Reverse twirl, this is our default number 1 of twirling system, which we'll cover another time. This is forward basically, and then we get the reverse of it. These all have a line number in the twirling, okay? Forward, reverse. Forward, reverse. So one drill you can do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could go 1, so you basically go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, reverse it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Go down the number. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1. Repeat that 10 times, 20, 30, 40, 50 times until you get synchronized. Your right hand is synced with the left, okay? Twirling. Let's move into offense, symmetrical. Cover part of this in other lessons. I'm gonna repeat real quick, just review. It's one of the more difficult in the beginning of the coordination drill that we have. It's basically opposite pole. If right is forward, left is reverse. If right is up, left is down. If left is up, right is down. If right is forward, left is... So basically, it's push and pull back and forth. It's what I call 6 count. I use K as a short, 6K or 6 count, C-O-U-N-T. Retract method or linear. I'm not, twirling it, or I'm not doing a fluid type. It's retract. So it's basically the tip never drops below the horizontal line. So I look at my side line, 1, 2, 3. Again, here you see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have high, we have standard, meaning alternate. One is high, one is low, and low. So today, just going to cover the high. Again, go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I go a little bit fast because we've covered this in other lesson. But still, if you're just only taking this lesson the first time, watch how my body is moving. One hand goes forward, the other hand goes back. Body right side is 6K, 6 count total. Meaning my right side feels and hits 3. I start talk, I continue talk, I open. I transition in open and I get into talk, open, transition. One cycle, done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Different angle. Here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now it's just 3 hit per step. We're doing mill pattern, get into neutral position. Then I have Shiz and Brian come in. They're going to work it together, just a short period together. Synchronize the partner. Okay, come on in. Okay, so they're going to work together. I'm going to go behind the screen. You want to go move back a little bit. You don't want to violate the camera angle. Okay, together you're going to go 6K talk. Okay, and just follow how the partner training will look like. Okay, go. Make sure you're inside of the screen, move a little bit back. So as they're working on this, you notice that they're statically, the range is static, meaning the range does not change, meaning their distance is constant. Even though they're going back into the base and stepping to the right neutral, left neutral, they are in constant range. When we're doing dynamic motion, training, that's when we actually start moving around in different angles, whether curvature, bilateral, linear, all around, up and down, low and left and right, and so forth. So, okay, thank you. So if you can stay here, we're going to go over another segment. So 6K, now I said 6K, remember the number 6, and there's only two steps. 1, 2. Now what do? We're doing dividing the numbers of the hits between each. I'm in a right neutral position, I'm in a left neutral position. It's a fighting pattern, right? Right neutral, left neutral. How do I divide that? I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Phase 1 student and phase 1 by default, this is how we start and students start. They go in, step forward, 1, 2, 3. You notice this, everything's broken down. They go in, they step forward just to learn what it looks like, feels like to be in the right neutral. Then they work on their hand. They learn how the 3 hit on right side feels. They go on, learn the left side, basically 4, 5, 6. Then they get into synchronize the foot a little bit with the hand. They go in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I see. So I get in right side, I hit, I come back to base, and left side, left lead, do my 4, 5, 6. Another upper strata type of training, a little bit higher, is can we go 1 foot move per 1 hand move? It's a lot more difficult, but just keep in mind, phase 1 is not just exposure as I define it. It's also basically it's not just the exposure to classes, but it's tiny bit of application and tiny bit of fusion elements I throw in there as a sampler, so that a student can learn, understand, look at how does that really 1-to-1 ratio look like. What is that 1-to-1 ratio? It looks like this. So if I have 6 number of hits with the hand and 2 number of hits basically with the foot, I have to synchronize my motion to go 1-to-1. So I go in 1, 2, 3. You see that here? 1, 2, 3. So I did 1-to-1 motion. If I go 1, 2, 3, that's 3 to 2. If I go 1, 2, 3, that's 3 to 1. Basically, I go 1 footwork to 3 hand hit. I go 1 footwork to 3 hand hit. If I go 2 footwork, I go 1, 2, 3. That becomes 2 to 3. 2 footwork to 3 hand hit. What if I go really even, 1-to-1? I'm going forward, I'm coming back, so that reverse action is a foot motion, right? So I go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. When you're practicing this, you can put the stick down and just hear yourself counting, go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, without the hand motion. 1, 2, 3. Now add the stick hand motion. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now what we do is we add an audio element to it so that each hit is synchronized with the stick and the foot motion. Okay. So what we're gonna do is 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna basically just pick it up. You don't have to worry about grabbing this at first time. It's pretty complicated training, but it's just basically audio stimulation. Allow the brain to move with the hand. Okay, I'm gonna have Jieh and Ryan actually facing the front, facing the camera. Okay, you're gonna face the camera. So you're gonna start with the bass. You will not see me. I'm just gonna play the drum in the background. So what does hand do without moving? Just listen to the sound. So there's six hits, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're not gonna go 6. We're just gonna do 1, 2, 3. We're done. We'll go back to bass. So we go, but we do 1 first. Let's see what 1 sound, 1 foot to 1 stick looks like. Just 1 and freeze. Go. 1. Okay, back to bass. Ready? Go. 1. Good. Back to bass. 1. Good. Back to bass. 1. Okay. Now as you go forward, simulate the element that's going to come back to the number 2. So you go 1, you hit, and then you talk, you come back. Again, hit, you come back. I know the audience is not watching me, but you're going to see the trainers, the partners training. Okay. 1. Good. Back. Ready? 1. Back. 1. Back. Ready? 1. Back. Ready? 1. So you go with the song. Ready? Okay. I'm going to play it. Ready? Back. Excellent. Now we go up to 2. So we go 1, 2. So actually now you go 1, 2. You can stay in the right lead. Just do 2 hits per 1 foot. Ready? Back. Back. Again. Back. Again. Back. Again. So now I want you to do is basically we're going to go 1-to-1 ratio. This is where you get sticky again. 1, 2, 3. Okay? 1, 2, 3. However you get to this point, I don't care, as long as when you're doing this, you're doing it correctly eventually. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's simulate it together. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3. Yes. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Again. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Go. 1, 2, 3. Again. Go. 1, 2, 3. 2 more. Go. 1, 2, 3. 1 more. Go. Let's go up to 6. Okay, which means complete the cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But wait for the sound to come in for 4, 5, 6. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excellent. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very good. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Face each other. Let's see how the partner training will end up. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. All right. So thank you, Brian and Sita. Okay. So this is so we conclude this segment. It's a little bit difficult. Now you're gonna say, why the heck do I need to do that? And when I'm facing an opponent, I don't need to do that. There's nobody playing drum for me. It's survival. This is body-mind coordination training. To overcome a battle, your entire mechanism, complete mind, body. It's just a trifold art. Okay. Spiritual mind and body, spirit, mind, and body, we are what we believe, basically, and then we think as we act based on how we think, right? So how the brain can react to a sound, how the brain can react to some stimulant, signal as it comes in, whether it's audio, visual, or sensation. We do that, a lot of that in trapping and sensitivity. This is why we train, and then as you train and continue to go forward, it'll make a lot more sense. But ultimately, you have to be able to have that coordination to go forward. If you have some music, drum music, or you can just put pots and pans and play and record it for yourself, that's it. That's all you need. You need some stimulus to be able to follow with that sound as you're hearing, okay? So that's it for this segment. Now we're going to move into another session, the last session, which is a single stick.